All right. I hate to make this video, but I am the most trusted name in comics news because I just speak honestly about things. And it's not an ideological thing as much. I mean, it is. But I'm not going to just ignore good things that are being done. I'm going to encourage good things that are being done by companies as much as the bad things. And Heather Antos did something completely right by collectors like myself, and this is something I think is directly for me. I am a huge Star Trek collector for comics. If you guys don't know, I'm one of the biggest customers out there. Of course, it's been tough. It's been tough because a lot of the books that have come out lately are very much not for you, intentionally, which has been very, very sad to watch as they've circled the drain with the Star Trek brand. But she did this thing right. And it doesn't have anything to do with this tweet, but I'll talk about this tweet too because it's pretty funny. Please hit the right like and subscribe button as we talk about this, my friends, and everything in the comic book industry. My name is John Delarose, and of course, as mentioned, I'm the most trusted name in comics news for a reason. I appreciate you guys for being there and for supporting us over the years. I'm a comic creator myself. I have a beautiful science fiction epic in The Hidden Emperor. We are just trucking along, still getting a bunch of sales every day on our backer kit after our Kickstarter closed last week. Gosh, I guess it's been 3 weeks ago now. Holy crap, time flies. We've delivered out the digital rewards. I just sent the book files to my printer. They're going to be getting me a proof in the next couple of days with everything all wrapped up so we can get this ready and get this starting shipping in the next couple of weeks. And I'm also going to be launching my Emerald Array comic on Monday, which is a Space Marine comic. All male Space Marines, of course, on Fund My Comic as we're trying to support this excellent new platform that's coming out. So catch up on the series now. Grab Overmind and The Hidden Emperor, any of my books, really. I mean, you've got the whole Flying Sparks series on here. I put everything on here for your convenience. Support our channel. Whatever speaks to you, just read it. I appreciate all the readers out there, especially the people who love science fiction, Star Trek, etc. It's in the description below. Thank you so much for the support. All right. So I'm gonna drag you along to and let you know what IDW did right as I talk about this. I guess they went to Edmonton Expo a couple weeks ago, and Heather's like, as the Star Trek editor, is standing with Star Wars people as always. Very odd. Used to be a rivalry there, but I don't know. It's very odd at this point. And as you can see, the wonderful folk of the 501st Legion, the Dark Empire Legion. This is a fan cosplay group and the like, made me an official honorary member. Yes, I did cry. So clout gets you little fake awards in the industry, even though she's really has nothing to do with Star Wars at this point. There's a dude dressed up as Dr. Aphra. That's interesting. And here it is, your contributions to the Star Wars universe. What the heck did she contribute to the Star Wars universe? I think she was an assistant editor, right? Isn't that something like you get coffee for the editor at that point? Okay. Very bizarre. But this is what you get. You get clout awards like that don't really mean anything. You get some fake clout, and that's exactly what the politics being right in the comic book industry gets you all the time. We've seen this a lot. Now, she's been editing the Star Trek brand for the last, I think, 3-4 years, and it's just been a complete train wreck. We showed you the Star Trek 500 special, I think, a week or two ago. You can find that video if you've not watched it already. Yeah, absolute travesty. A destruction of Star Trek on the most basic level with the worst fan fiction. Brought in Patton Oswalt to do it, who turned the Tribbles into some weird sexual fetish for Captain Kirk. It was an embarrassment, a complete embarrassment. And this is where the brand's pretty much gone. Now, on the main front, even though that was a single issue sort of anthology, she loves publishing these weird anthologies. Did a Pride one a couple months before that, which was all cringy too. There's a couple Star Trek lines out there. There's one called Star Trek just by itself, and then one called Defiant by itself. And the high concept of Star Trek by itself is one that takes place after Deep Space Nine. Captain Sisko has a ship called the Theseus for some reason and isn't involved in Deep Space Nine. And they put a mix-match crew on it of just random people through like all the Star Trek series. So like there's one character from every show, and it's like, why this is really bad fan fiction, just as an idea. Like I would have automatically gone, this doesn't feel like the universe at all. And they revisit a bunch of stuff, and it's really, I'd say, Star Wars-ish in the way it's done, not Star Trek-ish in the way it's done. And of course, they introduce a new character who's a Vulcan who like talks about pronouns and has a shaved head on one side. Super cringy, very badly written. Now, it's only the only thing that's worse is the Defiant side one, which is the same concept with this like mismatch hodgepodge crew, except it's Worf, and Worf is like the special Starfleet ops guy. I mean, it reeks of fan fiction, as I said. All of this does. And he's being disavowed by Starfleet, forced to be like a smuggler type. It's really bad. Now they've done this, and then they do crossover events, and they've given each of themselves Eisners and this is just the setup for where they've been at. Now, the one thing they've done right on this level for so far is they've released these hardcover books, which actually match the Star Trek Eagle Moss collection hardcover books. And I'll show you this now: Star Trek Eagle Moss graphic novels, and they look like this, and they're beautiful. I bought these back in the day when Eagle Moss was producing them. IDW helped with that, and it's literally every Star Trek comic ever produced. They canceled the line, and Eagle Moss went out of business right before finishing the complete DC comics, unfortunately. So I had to get all those in single issues. And there's a few single issue stragglers here and there. I had to find, some of them are way out of print. There's a couple really difficult IDW ones to find in particular. Star Trek Voyager, Mirrors and Smoke, for example, was like a train wreck to find, but I do have it. So I have every Star Trek comic ever produced through this line in hardcover, almost. And it's pretty awesome. And of course, all the Gold Key comics are collected here for the first time. From the 70s with like Len Wein and all that, like writing things. I mean, it was like, those are awesome comics. So very happy to have those. All right, there's the aside. So they produced Star Trek volumes of the new ones with hardcovers that match these size-wise. So it lines up with my collection pretty well. Even if the spines of the new ones don't match with this, it's nice just to have them in the same size for my shelf. And so I have them. And they came out with Star Trek Volume 1 and 2, Defiant Volume 1 and 2, and the Day of Blood event in hardcovers. Well, then IDW announced that they're no longer going to be producing the hardcovers, that they're just doing soft covers. And I was like, what? Oh, no. What a disaster. This ruins my shelf. And a lot of the new IDW stuff is not out in hardcover. They've got a bunch of miniseries that they've come out with recently, like Lower Decks ones, and there was a Strange New Worlds one recently, which the Strange New Worlds one was pretty good. There was a motion picture era one that came out recently, which was pretty good too. And those didn't come out in hardcover. So I was like, oh, as a collector, I'm going to get screwed here. And this is it. Now, here's where they did something right by collectors. And so, Heather, I know you watched the videos here. Kudos to you. Thank you for doing this. I am the target audience of this here, clearly. This came out with very little avail. Almost nobody talking about this. I didn't even know this was out. IDW put out a advertisement about it, and I actually saw the advertisement on Facebook. Again, like, this is something that, like, I should be on their mailing list so they could let me know about this in advance. They actually put out a Volume 3 IDW website exclusive for the hardcover. So if you're collecting the hardcovers, you can continue and have an extra hardcover for Volume 3. And this is it. So I actually did pre-order mine. I get every Star Trek book. They did me right as a collector. You have no idea how much the comic industry is bad about this. Like, when they have lines that, like, they decide, okay, hardcovers aren't selling as well as softcovers, we're going to ditch the hardcover. They usually just stop. Like, DC Comics is actually the worst about this. They've got so many lines of graphic novels where it's like they did like complete, they even labeled them like complete collections, and then they didn't complete the collections. This happens all the time in comics. They're very bad about finishing off collections. Like I said, even the Eagle Moss collection didn't finish off the DC Comics line, which sucks. And when you get this continued on, when you get things right on this level, it's really actually a big deal. So thank you, Heather. Thank you, IDW team, for doing something right and making this work. This is a rare kudos and a rare win for you guys. Just listen to us over here in the future. We're growing in our comic book influence. We are the people who read comics over here. We're the people who read Star Trek over here. Listen to our feedback. It's valuable. It really is. So thank you again. All right, that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. Don't unsubscribe just because I said something nice, because they did something right. That's it. I got to give the kudos where it's due. That's where it is. Hit the like and subscribe button instead. Join us here. I appreciate you guys for being there. Check out my Hidden Emperor sci-fi graphic novel. You'll love this. It's fantastic. People who have read the digital said it's one of their favorite comic books already this year. It's in the description below. And leave a comment. We'll be back soon.